There's been some really dark and worrying things happening in Ethereum recently. And in this video, I'm going to give you the exact proof of that, as well as explain how we can make the most of this to be able to predict moves 24 to 48 hours before they happen consistently. Don't believe me? Well, you're going to want to stick around for this because it could change the way that you look at crypto forever. Hit the like button and let's get into it, shall we? Now, what am I talking about? As you know, if you are already subscribed to my channel, then you'll understand that I have started to become quite cynical and look at crypto in a slightly different way from how everyone else does. I like to think about all the different factors behind what is driving price action. But no, it's not because it's got loads of transactions or I really like the logo that it's performing well or not performing so well. There's other things at play that you perhaps have never thought about. And I want to start here on Twitter. This is Spot on Chain. Spot on Chain is an analytics platform, okay? But what I want to point out was this that was launched around the 25th of September, where it's telling us that Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, deposited 400 Ethereum to Coinbase at this rate, which was around $632,000. And then you can see some of the other details going in here. Now you can see that then leads us across to this article, which is the 25th of September, and then it comes down through and it tells you all about all the transactions that have been being made. Now what I did is I came across to Arkham Intelligence, and I've searched here for Vitalik Buterin. This is a free platform, by the way, guys. It's not sponsorships, yeah? And then what you can do is you can come down here where it says transactions, and I've just clicked on outflow, and you can see that from the 25th of September here, 400 Ethereum flowing out, and various other days, 200 Ethereum, 200 Ethereum, 100, 250. And these are mostly going to like Coinbase accounts, going to Kraken accounts, and things like that. Now this is around the 25th of September. You can see just around here when the price of Ethereum is pretty low. Now, if you're new to crypto, you may not understand this, but others will. When you see big whale wallets shifting cryptocurrency in big quantities, like we've seen from Vitalik and various others, going onto exchanges, or what is appearing to go onto exchanges, it tends to mean that they're about to change it into USDT and sell that Ethereum or that Bitcoin. This is very bearish. It indicates that we should be a little bit worried because these people are about to change their crypto into something else. What's the effect of this in this area? Well, it causes people who've just read that news article to think maybe that's not so good. But you're like, well, I never even heard of this news, or I never pay attention to that particular Twitter page. So maybe tons of other people don't either. What's the big deal? I get it. Fair enough. This article, 25th of September. And then what happened? So what I then did was like, okay, how does this really have much of an effect? Because the price in this area, you know, we can get this negative piece of news that indicates that we might likely see a dump, and then we never did. In fact, we moved the other way. So I put that green circle, which indicates pretty much when that news article came out, and then we moved the other way. Okay, so something shady was going on here. The data was telling us that this was probably going to dump towards the downside, and instead it ripped towards the upside. So I searched for it. I searched for Vitalik sent 400 Ethereum, and then look what I got. 25th of September, Cointelegraph, 25th of September, FX Street, and it goes on and goes on and goes on. And look at this, guys, like every single damn news outlet you can find tells us that this was sold. And what's more interesting, let's get into these articles. This one on Medium, come down, according to Spot on Chain reports. Interesting. Next one, Cointelegraph, coming down, according to Spot on Chain reports. This is weird, right? No one's even heard of Spot on Chain before, or I at least hadn't until kind of earlier on this week. Why is suddenly every single news outlet referring to Spot on Chain? This is so weird. Okay, another one, Spot on Chain, the Crypto Times. Another one, Crypto News, Spot on Chain. This is so weird. Or at least it may seem weird or a bit too coincidental until you start to think about why this might be happening. Remember, the sentiment of this particular piece of news is very negative. It tells us that the founder of the second biggest crypto platform, Ethereum, is about to offload a lot of his crypto. What does he know that we don't? Is he forcing people to sell? Is something bad about to happen to Ethereum? Has it been hacked? Who knows? This is where we start to see what pieces together, because if you get back to this chart, then you'll see that there is a period of time here, through here, where crypto and Ethereum is positioned, ready for a dump. Because if we look at the Ethereum chart, you will see that we are in a rising wedge. This ultimately is bullish, and I personally believe that we will see at some point Ethereum breaking towards the upside. But if we see at what part of this particular pattern, a very key area, this rising line here, very key area of support for Ethereum, you will see something of great importance happen. When the market is pushing down, you will see it going sideways. And at this point, I want you to think about what is going on, bearing in mind that this move that comes out of it is a good shove of around 10%. That's 10%. That represents tens of millions of dollars, okay, that saw in the action, okay? But at this point, everyone was trying to get you to think that it was going to shove lower. Why? What was this news that hit here? Well, on the 29th, the SEC rushed the Ethereum ETF approvals before the government shut down. So what was going on here? People knew that there was SEC good positive news to come out about Ethereum, something to do with the spot approvals. They knew that they were going to shove it in the opposite direction. So what do? Well, they try and buy into this area first before that push happens. Now, if you understand why a chart will go up and why a chart will go down, you'll understand that it goes up because more people are buying it, and the more people who buy it with the more money, the harder and faster it will go up, and the more people who sell it, the obviously slower it will go down. So what you'll notice is we get negative news in this area telling us that Ethereum is going to fall towards the downside because Vitalik and everyone else is about to offload their cryptocurrency. This is bearish for us. At least the punters out there will think, I need to maybe get out of Ethereum, this is not good stuff. So what they do is they sell, but at the same time they're selling, the big money who knows that good news is about to come out the day or two after, or the positive thing about the approval of the ETFs, well, they're buying. They're buying into that negative news because they know something you don't know. They know when that negative news is coming out, it's just there simply to provide liquidity. Now, how can I get beyond this? Because there are times that big money will take big exit positions. How do I not get caught out? Come back to Arkham Intelligence. Here we've got Vitalik. Now, when I see a piece of news or information like this, you need to take it upon yourself to go and do the research to understand it, because you can't just wait for someone else to tell you the piece of news, because then you are sitting there waiting to be manipulated. This is how we can avoid it. Look, the 25th, he sends some money to Coinbase here. Interestingly, he sends 0.1 Ethereum on the 24th, and then the next day he sends 399 Ethereum. So it looks like he's sending it to a new Coinbase wallet. If you were about to send your crypto to a new wallet and you were about to send $650,000 or just short of $650,000, would you probably send some way of checking it as well? Possibly. If you come down below, you can see that he's done various other transactions to various different wallets. Now, he would obviously have his own Coinbase wallet set up. This would indicate that this is to a new Coinbase wallet that perhaps is a colleague or someone else. And it doesn't necessarily indicate fully that Vitalik is about to offload his crypto. And as well, there's a bunch of other massive transactions in here that don't get any news articles about them at all, but we only get a news article across every different major cryptocurrency news outlet at the time it suits the big money, because it's at a position we need to create some liquidity in the market. I need to shake people out. The reason I need to shake people out is this. If you think of crypto like this, when the buys and sells are equal, the price will remain level. However, we start to put more buys in one particular pot than sells, the price will do what? It will start to increase. And on the flip side of things, if we start to put more sells in, then the price will start to come down. And I don't mean more in terms of quantity, I mean more in terms of volume. So, for example, one trade of $1 million is obviously worth more than 1,000 trades, which equate to $500,000. Okay, so this is very important, because what you've got to think is the big money are trying to keep that level as long as possible. So if they want to be buying and they want to keep the price at that low level so they can keep buying low, they have to make you sell. And how do they make you sell? They create FUD. They create negative news sentiment. And this is very, very evident. So how can we use this to predict what is going to happen next? Well, you simply need to look at the price action that we've seen happening from Ethereum more recently. As the price is starting to trail off down towards the downside, we're starting to find support here. Now, what effectively we're looking for, if that news was really pretty negative and very hard hitting when it was in this area, you would have seen it drop very aggressively down and then potentially just continue lower. However, that never happened because that negative news is coming in and you don't see any price going towards the downside because people are still keeping that level. Because remember, the big money is buying whenever it gets the opportunity. Then you can also react like the big money. And this is how you can identify what a buy zone looks like, okay? Because the buy zones will sit there. They're trying to keep the price in this area and eventually they can't do it anymore, which is why we saw that price pump here. Now, I get it. Lots of people will be like, well, that's not very exciting because now the price has just come back down to where we are right now. Fair enough, understood, but this happens time and time again. All you really need to do is identify what is that news trying to make you do, start to go and search for those news headlines, see whether they're appearing on all these other different news sites. You can then go across and use Arkham Intelligence, which is here. And in this case, I just searched for Vitalik, okay? You see it's his wallet because it's got $403 million in, which is quite a lot. So you can go and look at transactions over time. You can then go and see whether they are flowing in or flowing out, that kind of good stuff. And then you can see who he kind of works with in terms of his exchanges and the different deposits and various different bits and pieces. Now, obviously, other times it might be talking about another specific whale. So pay attention to what people are talking about and pay attention to what this news is trying to get you to do. Do not just react to a news article that you've read because someone in a Telegram or someone in a Discord or someone else said that this crypto is about to dump because every whale is sending his Bitcoin or his Ethereum to this wallet. Because guess what, guys? It's usual total BS. Do the opposite and you can't go far wrong. And I talked about this before, I'll talk about it again. Warren Buffett, the world's most famous investor, like him or hate him, will always tell you to buy fear and sell greed. What does he mean? Fear is created at the bottom of markets. Greed is created at the top. Try and understand what that news and information is trying to get you to do, and then maybe you'll understand if you can start to behave and think like a whale rather than a lemming. Okay, so think smart, guys, and defend yourself. Now, if you're holding crypto and you're serious about making money in crypto, then you need to keep your crypto safe. And the very best way to do that is in a hardware wallet. Remember the FTX collapse, where some people literally lost millions of dollars. Other people have been involved in scams where they've had their MetaMask and other things are raided. If you keep everything off chain, like in a decent wallet, then you will be protected. I personally use a decent wallet because it has a fingerprint scanner, which is very cool. But not only that, it works via Bluetooth, which means I can use it with my iPhone. It also works with Android, and it supports over 2,000 different coins. You don't need to plug it into a computer or anything like that, which is obviously adds to the security, but it also means I can travel around with it without having to take my laptop every single place I go. I can just take my hardware wallet with me. Now, there's a link down below in the description for that, where you will get a discount if you choose to use that link. And yes, guys, I will get a small commission, which I might use to go and buy myself a cup of coffee. Now, on the website, if you click supported coins, then you'll see that there's 3,209 coins that are supported. They're adding more all the time. And if they don't have the coins that you want, you can suggest coins to be added. So guys, get on the link down below in the description and pick up your decent wallet as well. Make sure you get into the free Telegram, which is linked down below, guys. Would love to have you over there. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. See you in the very next video. Bye bye.